So making this video for Math 3. This goes with your Unit 9 practice test. This is number 12, requested by Zara. If any of you have any other requests tonight, text me and I can make the video so you can see how these problems go. Okay. So number 9 says, which equation represents the cosine function with an amplitude of 4? So again, we want a cosine. We want the a to equal 4, and we want the period to equal 6 pi. So one thing you guys are really good at is identifying where the amplitude goes. The amplitude goes right here before the cosine, right? So we have cosine theta. We can put a 4 here. Well, we have two options. It can be cosine 4, or as we saw in class today, it could be negative cosine 4. This just flips it upside down, but it would also have an amplitude of 4. So now let's mess with the part with the period being 6 pi. So now we have to think about our usual cosine graph, which goes like this. And when we label it, it goes from 0 all the way out to, what does it go out to? Because this is the period. And let's just use radians, because that's what we have right here. Just double checking something. Yeah, because we have 6 pi, so we have radians. So this one would be 2 pi. If it had degrees, you would put 360. So 2 pi, so we're going to work with the 2 pi. I think we can squeeze it down here. So we know that somehow the 2 pi was divided by something. We're going to call that x. And it got us a 6x. So now we're going to do the opposite thing to both sides. And actually, let's reformat this and do 2 pi over x equals 6 pi over 1. Because if we have a proportion like that, all of you know how to cross multiply. Take it to the left. We would end up with 6 pi times x equals 2 pi. Well, pi is a number, so is 6. Let's divide by 6. Divide by 6 pi. We end up getting the pi's cancel. 2 over 6 is 1/3. So x has to be 1/3. That means that we need an equation that is going to have a theta over 1/3 next to it. Okay, something of this fashion. So theta of 1/3 right there. So now let's take a look at what options we are given to see if we have something like that. Which one would be our best option? I'm going to write down all of them. So A, we have y equals negative 1/2 cosine of 1/2 x. Right away I know that's not correct because the amplitude is wrong. This is not amplitude 4, so it cannot be A. On B, we have, well, the same problem. Y equals 1/2 cosine 1 over 4x. Again, the amplitude is incorrect, so that's not the one we want. Okay. Excuse the glare that is following the thing around the room. Now let's do C. C says y equals negative 4, which is okay. Cosine, the way they put it was like this, 1/3 times x. Okay? So this part's okay. This part looks like the 1/3 that's on that side on that board, but we're going to double check this in a second. Again, amplitude 4, which is fine. Cosine 3x. Maybe inclined to think it's that one, but we have to do some verification. We can either think about it logically what it means, because if you notice over here on this side where we have that theta over 1 divided by 1/3, well, we don't have that same exact setup over here because our theta or our x is not over something. But we can do a calculation. So let's see. So if x is over 1/3, this means that x, let me tilt this down, and let me switch that. It's right in the glare. So if we have x over 1/3, this is equal to x divided by 1/3. We know we should flip things and change things to multiplication, like that, which would be 3x. This one is the correct one, has the correct amplitude, and this changes the period in the correct manner. So it would be D.